And first touchdown, who's going to get it?
Give me like the first no, I think give me a run by the Ravens quarterback. Who is that? The
Lamar Jackson, 7-1. You're locked in at 7-1 on Lamar Jackson.
So, a 4-star play on the Raiders. They have a lot of momentum. They're 3-0. Great coaching.
Great coaching. All right, you got a feeling on the total? 51.
What do you mean you don't like Chucky?
I don't know. I mean, he gets $10 million a year, so he's great at something.
His fucking agent is fucking genius. And rich as fuck.
Those are the teams who are still alive. If you had to throw a few shekels down on one of those, where do you think the value is?
I think we're going to go with the White Sox.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. This is a super extraordinary Thursday edition of Fade the Mahoney. According to my math, we are at episode number 50. We have KL Cleeton here as our super special guest, and he has a special message he wanted to send out to all the people who didn't think we'd make it to episode number 50. So KL?
Yeah, I mean, just fuck you guys. Seriously, just straight up fuck all you guys. I mean, they are crushing it. Episode 50, do you have any idea the amount of dedication and, I mean, just the dozens of minutes of man hours that went into making 50 episodes? I mean, it's at least 36 minutes of man hours.
That's accurate.
At least.
That's
it's
really
amazing.
good.
No, congratulations, guys. That's amazing.
You're gonna see when you rewatch this, you're gonna see the man hours that went into the editing to the intro. Because this gentleman here, Edonk, I have a triple edit. And when I say I mean our editing team. We have a triple edit to show his mastery of all sports, including not knowing the name of the Ravens quarterback who actually won the NFL MVP recently, perfectly jinxing the Raiders and John Gruden 2 weeks ago, and then also giving out for free the White Sox as a future World Series winner. So our editing team put that all together. That'll be at the beginning of the show. All of you have already seen it and you already know.
Also, can I just say, fuck you, John Gruden? Seriously, just, fuck you.
There you go.
I mean,
have you seen him around?
I had not seen him, but if I did, I would not be afraid to make him aware of my thoughts. Just kind of a scumbag. I mean, I was never a fan of Chucky in the begin with. I mean, like, the whole style and all that. It just seemed so fake. And like, Monday Night Football, I had to mute the fucking TV whenever he was doing play-by-play or the announcing because it was awful. But yeah, I mean,
I don't think he's gonna be doing any play-by-play anytime soon.
I don't think he's gonna be doing anything other than sitting in his little sulking man cave, bitching and moaning about how the libs dug him or some shit like that. I don't know.
I was always more of a Tony Kornheiser Monday Night Football fan myself, but that didn't last too long.
Better than bigger.
They gave Booger a lot of chances, didn't they?
They gave Booger way too. Booger reminded me of like that. Remember that movie Radio?
I'm familiar with it. I haven't seen it, but I know it.
He reminded me of like that guy. Like he was so excited about the game. He was so happy to be there, but it was just not valuable information that he was giving out. It was like man, I love the enthusiasm, but please, you're killing the game for me. Like, you're killing it.
Yeah, they tried a lot of different stuff. They even put him on that crane outside and were throwing him around, which I thought was really, really weird.
Did you have a seatbelt? I mean, me, at least I'm a wheelchair user, so I was like, how does that work? Like, is it ADA accessible? Can I get on that ride? Is this, like, is there a line on the sideline that I have to wait in? Do I get to go to the front of the line? Like at Disney, people in wheelchairs get to go to the front. So, I mean, like, these are questions that I need answers to.
All right. Well,
So,
we'll try to cover as much as we can over the next little period of time. I don't even think I formally introduced you, but everybody, maybe I did. We have KL Cleeton here. We have poker superstar and internet sensation, KL Cleeton. You can't name another real, important, serious sports handicapping show that has KL Cleeton on it, other than the Mahoney. So we're very proud to have you. We're grateful you made the time. I want to run through a recap of our guests that we've had recently. We've had Check Raise Charles. We have Trevor Savage often. We had DJF. We had Matt Kiefer. We had Joe Stapleton. Thank you again, Joe. That particular episode gets views all the time. It's amazing. People love that guy. He did really, really well.
I really hope his career takes off. And I know he's really, he's out there trying to make it. He tries to be funny, and I love the effort that he's giving. So I hope it pays off.
We're all pulling for the guy. He'll catch a break one of these days. We had One Time last week, even though One Time has no recollection of being on the show. We had him. David Tuckman again is coming down the pipe sometime soon, so we're working on that. Actually, I conversed with Chad McVean yesterday. He's going to be coming on real soon. I've nicknamed him the Kingmaker. He can do stuff for you with his massive Twitter following. So I appreciate all the love he's given us. And I've got a few others that I'm working on. Real quick, from Monday night, E-Dog had a total of 8.5 stars between the Ravens and the under. Neither of those won. Surprise, surprise. So E-Dog continues to get everything wrong in the NFL. So good job out of you, E-Dog. I've got a bunch of questions from our viewers and listeners, KL. So I'm going to ask them.
Yeah.
You either answer them or tell me to fuck off if you don't want to answer them. Cool?
There is literally no question that I won't answer. I may not give a serious answer, but I'll at least answer it.
Okay. Well, just a recent question that just came across my desk. When was the last time your mother took an edible and then kissed you?
That would be about, let's see, what time is it? About 4 minutes and 16 seconds.
Okay.
It was very high concentration because she gave me a little peck on the cheek as she was heading out the door to do some grocery shopping. And I was like, holy shit. That's a very high concentration. So have some grocery shopping and bringing back literally 15 bags of Cheetos.
For sure.
But hey, it's at least I'm going to eat well tonight. So I know that much.
That was awesome. We've had a lot of stuff go on the show, but never a mother have some marijuana consumed on camera and then walk off screen. Okay.
Hey, it's Vegas, right?
Yeah, it's almost expected. All right, let's start off with really important stuff. I need you to tell me about Range Trainer Pro and why it's the best.
Oh, well, first off, as I start doing that, I'm going to remember that I'm not wearing a patch, and hopefully somebody will come in here and stick a patch on my chest. Hint, hint, excuse me, sir. But yeah, Range Trainer Pro is actually a brainchild that I came up with back in 2017. For those that don't know, I was put into the main event by Daniel Negreanu via a giveaway, and I'm going to get my maximum shill right here. I mean, 100% shill going on. I have 500 of these. They need to they need to be used. Anyway, so obviously during that time period, I was just starting to take the game seriously, just starting to grow as a player. And I was very fortunate. A ton of people reached out and asked if, they could help, coaching or training videos, whatever it was. And I'm super fortunate. But what I found out was a lot of these people had opening ranges that almost no one had a good way to help you memorize them. It was basically just here's the ranges, memorize them by hopefully osmosis, essentially. And I thought that was really, kind of like A, surprising, and B, really frustrating. So over the course of the 2 years after that, kind of workshopped the idea, refined it in my head, and finally got connected with my business partner now and good friend now as well, Matt McElligott, who is our lead developer. And we built an application that basically takes all of those pre-solved GTO ranges and says, I'm going to quiz you in a real world situation on what you should play. So it literally gives you a table and a hand and whatever, stat depth or position you're at, and says, should you raise, call, or fold, or jam? And you go through and you actually practice by playing, essentially. But you don't have to post any deadlines or enter a tournament in order to practice. We've also recently expanded into post-flop as well. So we've taken hundreds of thousands of situations, and our database is constantly growing. And we are we're making post-flop basically easy to digest. So you can look at the stat and see, how the solver wants to do it. But more importantly, you can also do the exact same thing with the training tool, where you're literally in a hand and playing against a GTO bot with your hand. So it's a really good way to kind of not only understand what theory wants to do, but I'm also a big exploit guy for poker. Poker players know that you kind of deviate from theory as much as whenever it's reasonable to do so. And so basically you can learn the theory that then also kind of apply the exploits in real time in order to see how they jive and how they line up with theory. But at the end of the day, our goal is to make all of this really high level, kind of elite level knowledge as affordable as possible. And so we're doing all this, we're doing it at a price point that basically nobody else is doing it at. So there are other products out there that have similar types of things, but they're all like 3-4 times the price of us. And I'm not about that. I want everybody, I believe you shouldn't have to have financial success in order to try to get better at the game. Like you shouldn't have to bank a 100K tournament in order to get coaching, right? I mean, you should be able to, give up, a few lattes a month and get high level stuff. So that's what we're doing. And so far, people seem to enjoy it. And I really am proud of what we've done. I think I'm hopeful that it will leave a lasting impact, not just on the game, but only how people learn how to play the game. And that's what my overall goal is.
Okay, that's really cool. I'm going to put a link down below. I spent a little time on the website last night. Seemed pretty intuitive, but it links to an app, if I'm not mistaken, right? You can.
Well, everything is browser based, so it's not technically a downloadable app.
Okay.
Eventually, we will wrap it in an app,
Okay.
but then we have to go through like Google Play Store and the Apple, App Store and all that, which is fun, to say the least. But honestly, the easiest thing is the website knows if you're on a mobile device, if you're on a tablet, if you're on a computer, it sees that and then gives you an optimized version based on what you're on. So if you want to train in between levels on Bright while you're playing a live bird on your phone, easy peasy. If you want to do it before you head in to play a big day 2 for a little bit of a warm up, no problem. Pop it open on your laptop while you're having your coffee and do some training. It's we've made it as easy as humanly possible.
Okay. Well, again, I'm going to put a link down below. So everybody, we have lots of poker players who watch the show. So hopefully we get a few clicks out of that. Edonk and I are we're part of a community called the DGAF community. Lots of poker players in there, and we actually have one of our guys is pretty deep in. I think you were in the freeze out event, right?
I was.
Yeah, I'm just checking. He's sending us updates. I think they're down to like 25 or so, and he's.
Is it Steve?
His first name is Riddy.
Oh, okay, it's not Steve. I know a few people in the freeze out still that are pretty good friends, so I'll have to add him to my watch list.
Okay. Yeah. Last message we got was about 10 minutes ago. He doubled up. He's back up to 1.6 million. I think he was close to 2 million. But so anyway,
Wow.
Shout out to Riddy. Good luck to you, buddy. How has your WSOP been going so far?
I'm having fun.
Wonderful. I get it. Okay. Have you threatened to burn down the casino yet?
No, and let me just say, just on a personal level, that was, for those who don't know, we had Veronica Brill and a whole bunch of people helped me get a vehicle, and still was involved with that a little bit, and I helped promote that a bit whenever Johnny Moreno did his retweet contest,
right,
for those that are aware about that. And so, having said how much I appreciate Phil and everything he's done, that was just really out of line. Anybody else says those things, if I say those things, it's an insta ban. It's not even close. And as somebody who is so visible, so big, so larger than life, had won 7 heads-up matches in a row, in the Thunderdome at the Poker Go studios, and to say those things, I get there's frustration and et cetera, but that was just certainly not the brightest moment for poker, especially when we're trying to fight so hard to normalize the game, to make it more than just, gambler's paradise and that's gambly and blah 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 from a legal perspective, and those types of things are certainly not valuable to that effort. I understand he apologized, kind of, but if you're watching, Phil, we love you, but we expect way more, man. We expect a lot more.
I'm actually from the same hometown for him, so I'm one of his biggest apologists. And he did some good. What I thought for him was some good apologizing yesterday that I saw on Twitter. And Edonk, what's the guy's name who did the cool video, the funny video?
Oh,
Is it Jaffe?
yeah.
Oh
Will,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought Will Jaffe's video was pretty funny in the grand scheme of things. But for those of you who have no idea what we're talking about, just Google Phil Hellmuth. What was that 7-card stud? Burn down the casino. You'll find what we're talking about. But
yeah, there are multiple videos dedicated to the infinite number of fucks and burn this place down that were uttered in that final table. But no, I mean, like I said, I give a shit about the game.
Sure.
I want the game to grow, and when our biggest stars are not doing things that reach that goal, I think it's important that we try to hold them to account. I think he knows it.
Right.
I'm sure he does. But still, having your fellow competitors hold your feet to the fire is probably a good way of kind of further driving home the fact that wasn't okay. I would expect if somebody, if I did something similar, regardless of the situation, I would expect people to do the same thing to me.
Of course. Yep. Okay. Well, you mentioned Veronica Brill.
you see this? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, man.
Sorry. No, I was just wondering if you saw this awesome meme.
I did see that, and I left my ass off. In fact, I no longer am sitting on an ass. It's
all
just it's just straight from my spine to my legs. That's it. No butt in there. No, it's hilarious. Speaking of which, this is a bit off topic, but did you hear that girl who is now grown sold that image as an NFT for like infinite dollars? And she's now like a very wealthy young lady. I should say young lady because I'm 32 now, so basically anybody under 25 is a young person at this point.
I had heard that I think that was a few months ago. That actually leads into I've got a question here on my list from the Edonk, and since we have him on here with us, I'm just going to have him ask you, so I don't have to read it.
Yeah, I was just wondering what you're into with the NFT game with crypto. What's your most popular investment right now?
Well, actually, the most recent one is probably the one that I'm most excited about. Something called I actually don't even know how to pronounce it. I think it's Ethonyms. It's ETONYMS or NS. I can't remember. It tells you how much research I do. I'm very, very dedicated to the game. Can't you tell?
Are you looking it up right now, Eric?
How do you spell it?
It's ETONYMS, I believe.
Antonyms.
Yeah, EP, like EP, like
P is in pasta.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So essentially what it was, at the time of minting, and for those that don't know, minting is like the original run of something. You pay a certain amount of Ethereum or Solana or whatever chain, whatever currency you're on, and you're given a non-fungible token, an NFT, and that one is yours. You own that. You kind of quote unquote created it. And each project is different. Some are just random, some are assigned, whatever it is. However, this one, it was actually very, very cool. It was an artificial intelligence art project where you would type in a word or a phrase, a sentence, whatever you wanted to put in, and then it would generate art based on what you typed in. So people would type in like Ethereum, for example, and then it would take 3 minutes or whatever it would take, and it would generate a piece of art. But what was really cool about it was if you didn't like what you saw, you could hit refresh, and it would make another one. So you could just refresh until you found something that like spoke to you visually based on what you typed in. And then once you found it, you could obviously mint it, and it was yours. So I have 3 of those. I have the Angel of Death, I have the Angel of Life, and I have the Champion. All 3 of which are ones that I physically typed in what I wanted it to be about, and then it spat out the art. You can find it by going to OpenSeas and just searching for them. But I'm very excited at it because at minting time, it was 0.08 Ethereum to mint a piece of art. And now the floor price, which the floor price is, it's like the minimum price that a certain thing is, for those who are kind of uninitiated. The floor price is now all the way up over 1.1 Ethereum. So we're already well over 10 times the original minting price, and it's only been about 4 days. And so I'm very excited about it, not only because obviously financially that's a pretty sick turnaround, but I'm actually holding these for a very long time. I do think that in the long run, this project could eventually be on the level of like an Art Blocks or a CryptoPunks, something like that, just simply because the art is objectively beautiful. I mean, it's unique. It's not.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
It looks cool.
Nothing is. It's not like a fractal or a squiggle where it's all a variation of the same thing. It's some sort of math. Alters it slightly. Like these pieces are objectively very different from each other, all of them. And like if you typed in a name, it actually gives you a face that looks similar to that person. Like there's one that's like Kim Kardashian, and it actually kind of, I mean, it doesn't look like Kim Kardashian, but it's a woman's face, and she has big pouty lips and is, I mean,
a large rear end.
Well, you don't see the rear end, but I mean, I guess the point is like the AI that built it very obviously understood this is a person, this is someone I can look up, this is someone that we're going to make something that resembles them in some way, and it's kind of mind-boggling that an artificial intelligence was able to do that. So
yeah, I think the one thing that stands out for me is, like you said, like everything, each individual piece looks drastically different from the other. I'm just looking at them right now. So yeah, it's really cool. I haven't come across this yet, but I do like it. I'm mostly on the Solana NFTs lately.
Yeah,
so.
which I mean, I'm a big fan of Solana. I think that the infrastructure on Sol it's so much easier to create on there. Like basically anybody can do it. I don't know a dick about coding, and I could probably do it. And so I do think that there is a very bright future on that. But like I said, this is something that a friend of mine put me on to a few days ago. I saw it immediately. I was like, holy shit, this is possibly game changing. And I think that, 6, 12, 18 months from now, this should be viewed as kind of phase 2 or phase 3, depending on how you look at it, of a blue chip NFT, like an art blocks or like a CryptoPunk. I don't know that it'll ever get to that high of a floor, it's not gonna be a Fidenza probably, but it may be, 60% of that floor, which is still pretty freaking good in my opinion.
All right. Edonk, do me a favor. If you found his specifically, if you could email me a link and I'll put him below because I'm way too old to figure out how to find it. So if you
They're
send,
also on my Twitter profile.
oh, okay.
I've posted them a few times.
Okay.
Just,
I'll send you the link to the OpenSea.
Okay, cool.
He doesn't know what the fuck that is, but
Nope.
we'll send you the link.
Nope, no idea.
It's a marketplace where you can buy and sell NFTs.
Okay. You had earlier mentioned Veronica Brill. I have this really hard-hitting question. Are you ready?
I am very ready.
She's the best, right?
It's really tough. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I mean, she's like elite. I wouldn't say the best because that's not a good enough word. Like the best is kind of like, hey, you're the best. Like, feels like we're in a Karate Kid movie. You're the best around. Like that just sounds corny. Like, I would say like elite, notorious, but in a good way. I would say, fantastic. Obviously, we're not airing any of this, right?
No.
Okay, good. Whew, I wouldn't want her to hear me saying these nice things. No, I just found out she's going to be getting here on Wednesday. And so I'll get a chance to finally say hello in person.
Okay.
Which has been so weird. This is just kind of an aside, but I've gotten to know all these people over the last, year and a half, 2 years, virtually, like this, like you and I are getting to know each other today, and you become really good friends with people. I mean, Ryan Lang, who just won a bracelet and in 8-game 6-max. He beat fucking Connor Dryden heads up. I mean, Connor Dryden's like one of the top 5 best players in the whole world, and he just beats him heads up for a bracelet. Like, I've known Lang for the last 2.5 years of my life. Finally met him for the first time a few weeks ago, and I just couldn't be happier for him. I'm so excited, and I get to meet Veronica finally in person.
So for people who don't know, it was however many months ago, she asked you on a meeting like this, what the World Series was looking like for you. And you quantified it as less than 1% chance of actually going. And yet,
exactly.
And yet you're there. So that's a pretty good runner you hit.
It did. I backdoor floods is basically what happened. And
Veronica put together a GoFundMe page because you needed some wheels in order to.
Yeah, so for those who don't know the story, I'm not able to fly. I need to remain in my wheelchair at all times when I'm up. And airlines don't let you sit in your wheelchair in a flight or on a flight. You have to put your wheelchair in the belly. You have to check it. Nobody takes care of it. So when you get it back, 80% of the time, it's just fucked. It's completely obliterated, and they don't give a shit. And so because of that, I drive everywhere with my parents, who are my primary caregivers. And so we didn't have a reliable vehicle. We had something that could run across town and go grocery shopping, but not something that could drive 1,800 miles one way and carry all the shit that I need in order to travel and do it safely. And like you said, we were in a conversation just like this for her show, and she asked about it, and I explained the situation. And like a week and a half later, she sent me a message, and we didn't really even know each other that well at this point. The only reason I went on the show is because I had retweeted one of her earlier episodes. I was like, hey, that's a really good show. Y'all should check it out. And she sent me a DM. She's like, thank you for the retweet. Do you want to come on the show? And I was like, I'm a narcissist. Yes, I do. So, you know, I mean, give me a chance to talk about myself, and I will take that. You know, we got to talking, and we became, you know, better friends. Like I said, like a week and a half, 2 weeks after that show, she sent me a message, and it's like, this has been bothering me. Do you mind if I look into doing something about it? And I didn't think much of it. It was just kind of a, you know, a passing one off. I was like, yeah, sure. I'd really appreciate that. Never expected anything to come of it. Well, next thing I know, she does this hilarious video about winning the slow roll and, you know, play at the World Series. And I was laughing my ass off at it. And then there was a GoFundMe, and this is all right before COVID hit. And in the first 2 weeks, it had raised like, I don't know, like $12,000 or $15,000 in no time, and I was like, "Holy shit! What the fuck?" And then COVID hit, and everything kind of slowed down. But as things kind of started to look like they might turn a corner, she basically was just like, through sheer willpower and determination, and basically like won't take no for an answer, I guess. She just lined up a whole bunch of these amazing guests on this show that we did, where people, you know, roasted me and her, and then reached out to Bill Perkins, was like, hey, would you want to get involved? And then he matched, you know, up to 25 grand. And then during the show, that was actually Gary Gates's wedding weekend. It was his wedding night, actually. And Johnny Vibes Marino was at the wedding, and apparently had
enough. He had enough.
one too many, the way he tells it. And you know, puts out a tweet about how for every retweet his tweet gets, he'll donate $5. Well, he didn't cap it.
Mhm.
And that was interesting because we saw it on the show, the roast that we were doing at the time. And I joked about, you know, this and that, and it got some exposure. And then people started messaging other people and retweeting it, not just amongst themselves, but like got Hellmuth to unblock Johnny Vibes,
Yeah, that was awesome.
just so he could retweet the fucking tweet. And then, you know, a few other people just retweeted it with like really big followings. And before you knew it, it was all the way up to essentially 2,000 retweets. And Johnny woke up, got on the flight, and it was at, I don't know what is that, it was, you know, it was at a few hundred, like 500, 600, and he got off the flight, and it was like well over 1,500. And he kind of had like,
It's an expensive flight.
yeah, it was a very expensive flight, and I never expected it to, you know, that's a lot of money. I mean, don't get me wrong, but Johnny, as amazing as he is, he's like, listen, we're like, you know, almost to 2,000. I think we were like 1,700 at that point. He's like, I'm just gonna round up, call it 2K, and I'm gonna donate 10 grand to this thing. And when he did that, that basically put us at our goal. And now I'm driving a brand new, beautiful Chevy Traverse, which, I mean, for those that don't know, wheelchair accessible vehicles are absurd. They are asinine, the amount of money that cost. And this one is even a bit more so because we required something that could tow because we need to pull a trailer in order to have everything. And a regular minivan's not going to do that. And so this thing ended up being something like 90 grand, all said and done. Tax, trailer, title. The trailer, we were so fortunate. Gentleman by the name of Eric Perkins, Eric Perkins, reached out and he donated the trailer. It's a beautiful black trailer. It's gorgeous. It's big. It's roomy. It holds everything we need. And so it's fantastic. But you know, I mean, the vehicle is still, you know, they're crazy. Even a lower budget used vehicle that just, you know, kind of has the minimum, it's still going to be like $50,000 to $60,000 for people. And so I don't think a lot of people realize how crazy accessible vehicles are. And there's no programs out there designed to help you, you know, pay for them. And so it's entirely out of pocket. It's not something that we would have been able to do if not for the generosity of the poker community coming together and helping out. So I owe a massive debt of gratitude, which is why I'm out here. I'm out here to donate to the player pool and give back.
Yes, because you said your WSOP results so far have been you're having a great time.
Yeah, we cashed the Millie Maker, cashed a couple of online events, online bracelet events. But we do. I'm very, very lucky. I'm gonna brag just a tiny bit. I'm one of only 2 Americans in a pretty elite staking group, Team 651. So very happy to be a member of that team. And because of that, those connections, I had the opportunity to play a much larger schedule that I never would have been able to do on my own. I mean, never in a million years. But we actually get to fire events and you know, kind of take a shot at the dream, if you will. And that is something that I'm eternally grateful for, and I can't wait to hopefully show that maybe I'm not just a punter.
Well, that's cool.
I'm happy to punt.
I looked briefly at your staking package that you had on there. I didn't see the main. Are you playing the main?
Yeah, it'll be sold as a separate event.
Okay.
Basically, the plan was see how the first 3 to 4 weeks go, and if I run deep in something, then I can sell less and keep more of myself. And if I don't, then I'll just sell, you know, 70% or whatever I need to, you know, 60%, depending on what the stable ends up taking. But yeah, I mean, definitely the main is a must fire, something that I will, you know, I'll sell my left leg if I need to. I'm not using it. So, you know, I'll do whatever I have to do in order to fire the main. It's such a prestigious and you know, life-changing event that you know, you just can't afford not to fire it when you have the opportunity.
Gotcha. And
growing up, did you ever think you were gonna sell yourself as an adult?
I mean, you know, listen, I'm not judgy. You know, I mean, I'm open to all possibilities. You know, I you know, parts of me I'm not using. You know, it's fine. You know, left arm, left leg, Yeah, I used the right arm. I didn't eat it, so there's a higher price on that one. But you know, I mean, half a kidney here, half a liver there. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just, you know, I'm looking to do whatever I gotta do to play, man. You know, I'm a grinder. I have a friend who is actually is one of the better Mexican players that I know, and he made a joke video for a poker training site that I manage, Learn Pro Poker, Ryan LaPlante's training site, and we were like, hey man, you want to make a quick? Sorry, my coffee machine is making some noise. I don't know if you can hear that.
Oh, you're good.
All right, cool. The video was, you know, do you want to quick promo for us? He sends me this straight face, like this totally deadpan video. It's like, before I joined Learn Pro Poker, you know, I was in a really tough spot. I was down at the corner sucking dick for buy-in. But now, with Learn Pro Poker, I've really improved my game, because at Learn Pro Poker, we don't suck dick for buy-ins. So, no, I love it. It's so great. Nobody's ever seen the video. In fact, it's probably the first time I've ever mentioned it in public. So I'm probably gonna get yelled at by Ryan, but that's okay. I thought it was hilarious. But no, I on a serious note, I understand how lucky I am to get to come out here and fire and play and kind of live the dream. And honestly, I'm just trying to absorb and take in and love every minute as I can, you know, as much as I can.
Cool. We have in our community that I mentioned before, we have a poker league that we do throughout the year.
Mhm.
And whoever finishes with the most points is actually representing us in the main event. So that's, I don't know if you know who Check Raise Charles is, but he's going to be repping us in the event. And this
I
gentleman.
look forward to besting him.
What's that?
I look forward to besting him.
Okay, okay. This gentleman right here, as of last week, was considering flying out there, still considering Edunk to the main. All right.
Possibly, yeah. Possibly.
Fire it. Come on, man. It's such a fun time.
All right.
You've played the main before, is that right?
I played one.
I have not. I mean, I could think of like so many NFTs I could buy with that 10K.
I mean, true, but do you get the chance to play with, you know, Poker Hall of Famers and, you know, and listen, if you just win, think of how many more NFTs you could buy. I mean, if you just win, you should buy like 5 crypto punks.
It's a good thought. And you could possibly get screamed at by Phil Hellmuth on live television.
Exactly.
You can't really put a price tag on that.
You really can't.
I promise I wouldn't sit there and take it. That is for sure.
No, neither would I. In fact, that is one of my biggest goals, is to play the Phil and
Tilt.
Just slow rolling. Just straight up slow rolling. Just, you know, have the nuts on the river, go in the tank for like 5 minutes, literally have the clock called, you know, 1 second to go. I call, boom, nuts. He freaks the fuck out. It'll be beautiful. It'll be gorgeous. I mean, somebody should record it and turn it into an NFT, because it was worth $1 million. It'll be a piece of art. I guarantee it.
All right. We are going really, really long. I'm taking up your entire afternoon and my battery's going to die. So I've got a few more questions I want to get through, the important ones. Question that I've been asking everybody recently, and this is really important. I need to know what your favorite Taylor Swift song is.
Take it off.
Okay. It's all right. I'll go with that. I saw her in concert a couple years ago, and that's what she closed with. That was a crowd pleaser. All right. I need a word or a phrase from you to describe how you feel about LeBron James after his team got knocked out of the playoffs, announcing that he was changing his jersey number for the following season, even though he wasn't playing anymore. And there should have been no spotlight on him because other teams were still playing. He wanted everyone to know he was changing his jersey number.
I'm gonna say stupid stitches. Not superstitious.
Stupid.
Stupid stitches.
All right, that's a new one. I'm gonna write that one down. Last week, one time used the word enough. Is just enough out of him. I thought that was pretty good. We're gonna add stupid stitious to it as well. Have you thought of doing merch for yourself through your training site or anything?
Yeah, so eventually that will be something we're doing. Mostly it just comes down to finding a way to do it where we don't have to like have a bunch of stock on hand and things like that. But yeah, we're definitely gonna do that.
Okay. Well, I've got a couple of ideas for you. You can have these for free. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Better than D-Negs or better than Daniel. You should have that.
I like that. I like it. I like it.
And then something towards Veronica that says like stack this, something like that. Just
I like it.
okay. So those are just a couple ideas if you wanted to have those.
Also, banana on the river. If anybody remembers that from Banana. It was a banana on the river.
Oh,
That was what I blessed Harrison Gimbel in the main event in 17. And in the hand history, I did not remember what the river was, but it was irrelevant. And I called it a banana, and everybody loved it. So
I was watching the video of from Daniel's vlog the other day, where they got that whole hand that you played. How did you get that guy to bet the turn for you? How did that happen?
in the
When
which
you
hand?
3-bet ace king out of position and it came jack 5-5 and you bet and he called and then you banked your ace and then somehow you mind fucked him into betting the turn for you. How'd you do that?
Oh, I do remember that hand now. That was day one. Honestly, it's just like people bet aces, like and when they see it, they're just like, "Hey, there's an ace. I don't think you have an ace. I'm supposed to have an ace, so I bet." And it's like, okay, thank you. It really is.
That was a nice pot. All right. Everything we've done up until now was all just preamble. We're here to pick games because from what I've been told, you're a fantastic sports handicapper. So
handicap.
Okay.
No, handicap.
Okay. We'll use that then. I've got 6.
This guy doesn't even know. This guy hosts a podcast about handicapping, and he doesn't even know the proper terminology.
Oh my god!
Actually, you know what? I think we're gonna fire Mike, and you're gonna be the new host.
All right, I've got 6 games I want to go through,
Okay.
and I'm adding this new wrinkle. I did a wonderful reverse jinx on Lamar Jackson on Monday night, where I publicly trashed him for being the worst MVP of all time after I had bet them to win the game outright. They came all the way back and won. So I've got a little extra money in my DraftKings account, not sponsored by DraftKings. I'm going to put a $10 parlay on these 6 games, and you and I are going to split it if you hit all 6.
Ooh.
But you get to call. Am I putting all $10 on the 6 games? Or do you want to do 5 on the ones you pick and another 5 on the opposite of every one you pick? So think about that. Think about that. And we're going to do, we'll figure that out in just a couple minutes. Game number 1. This is why everybody's here. They're going to make money from your picks. Tonight, Tampa Bay is playing against Philadelphia in the NFL. Tampa Bay's favored by 6.5. Who do you like?
Yeah, we're taking Tampa Bay. Taking Tampa Bay.
Okay, we got Tampa Bay. You got to tell me how much you like it on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 is you just kind of like it. 5, you already have tomorrow's newspaper and you know what the final score is going to be.
11.
11 stars on Tampa Bay. Okay. Next big game. Green Bay is at Chicago. It's a big game for those of us who live in Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
All three of us live in Illinois. I don't know if you know that.
Yes.
I'm from Wisconsin though, so I'm rooting for the Packers. The Packers are favored by 4.5 last I saw. I can't find the gosh darn game. Where's the game? 5.5. It's up to 5.5.
I like 5.5 or 4.5 better. And I still think the Packers, I think the Packers win by a touchdown. But I'm not as confident that it's like a 2.1.
2.1.
Getting into the decimal system at this point.
Have you been watching the Bears? Are you a Bears fan?
No, I'm not a Bears fan. I'm a Cowboys fan. But I just know that it literally couldn't get much worse for the Bears. And I'm sorry, for Aaron, sorry, I didn't know what I'm saying. I'm really good at the same time. He just hasn't been looking as
Ron?
What?
As Aaron?
Yeah, as Aaron. And then he just hasn't been looking as his old self, but I think he's gonna have a little bit of extra oomph playing the Bears. Like he always comes in for those games. Like he shows up, and I think he gets back to the old gunslinging ways. Not to mention the weather's supposed to be relatively nice, if I'm not mistaken. So that
I think he's something like 15-5 in his last 20 games against the spread against the Bears.
Yeah, so I mean
something like that.
Yeah, like I said, he normally shows up.
All right.
So
he's due.
He's due to lose.
He's due to lose.
KL, I'm going to give you a chance to change your first game, even though it's an 11-star. And the reason I'm going to give you the chance is the Edonk was in a poker room earlier today. And the best betting system there is the poker room lock theory. You ask everybody at a poker table who they're betting, and they all say the same thing. 9 times out of 10, they get it wrong.
And they all said
Tampa.
But have you seen the fucking?
I might like sell some NFTs and just fire the fuck out of Philly tonight.
The Seagulls are so bad this year. They're just not good.
I'm sure doing it.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff we need.
Yeah, this is why people come to this show, because everybody, the Eagles are going to win the game outright. We have they're for sure covering. For sure covering.
Well, sure, maybe I should bet the Eagles down just for the anti-sweat, right? Oh my God.
Go find your nearest sportsbook and whatever you have on you.
Eagles is the line. I also have this from my buddy DR in the Northwest suburbs. He sent me this stat earlier. Tom Brady is 0-10 against the spread in 8 p.m. Eastern time games in his last 10. 0-10. That's pretty bad. So, last chance.
It's such a random fucking stat to A, look up, and B, no.
Find the stat that gives you the answer you want. That's all you got to do. All right.
Listen, Tom Brady is 0-14 when Venus is in retrograde. So, or whatever the fuck the astrologers say, or whatever it is. No, I'm not a big Tom Brady fan, but I'm pretty confident that he's going to win that one.
Well, 11 stars is the most confidence we've ever had on a game before. So, all right. Game 3, the Chargers are playing at the Baltimore Ravens, and the Ravens are favored by 2.5, I think. Let me just double. Yep, 2.5. Ravens 2.5 at home against the Chargers.
No, actually, I like the Chargers in this. I think they're due for a bit of a comeback. I think Herbert is an exceptionally good quarterback. I think they have the tools. They just need to put everything together. And yeah, he's very fucking good. as a friend of mine says, sleeve your Herbert rookies.
Sleeve them. Gotcha.
Sleeve them. Sleeve your Herbert rookies because it's probably going to be in the Hall of Fame eventually.
Yeah, they are. They sent me this jersey, and they are the unofficial official NFL team of Fade the Mahoney. So we root for them. How many stars are we laying on the?
Real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt. I do have to run. I actually have a job. Sometimes I work, and I have to go. And we have a class starting at 7 minutes that I have to go.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting this to run this long. So I do first want to say thank you for coming on. Secondly, we'd love to have you back. And just thanks for your time. Looking forward to, possibly meeting you in person sometime soon.
Absolutely. I look forward to it. And
You can finish it up with Mike.
sounds good. And congratulations on the job. I'm really, I mean, I don't know if that's right. So
Have you ever had such a humble brag than someone saying I have a job?
Yeah, like what the hell?
What
is that all about, right?
To be honest with you, it's not really a job. I just coach a little basketball. It's hardly work.
Well,
Most of the time, I just spend playing poker and firing off NFTs and golfing.
It was nice to meet you.
You
I appreciate the
Nice.
questions.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
See you, Dong. All right. Back to the Chargers. How confident are we then?
I'm gonna say 3. I like them.
Okay.
I really do.
All right. We're halfway home. Another really big, great game. Undefeated Arizona Cardinals are traveling to the 3-2 Cleveland Browns, and the Browns are favored by a field goal, I think. Yeah, 3.5. It's up to 3.5. Money's pouring in on the Browns.
Wow. No, I'm gonna take the Cardinals. Kyler Murray is not human. He was born on another planet, sent here to play football, do nothing but make improbable passes and score crazy touchdowns. So yeah. Also, little known fact, my brother's name is Kyler. So
that's insane. I didn't even know that was a real name until Kyler Murray came along.
Yep. Yeah, my brother was born in 1990, and my dad and mom were talking to my dad's sister and said, would you like to name our second son? And she said, I really like the name Tyler. And they were like, well, we really want it to start with a K. And she's like, well, fine. Fucking name him Tyler.
That's amazing.
And so that's how we got Kyler.
That's amazing. All right. How many stars are we putting on the alien Kyler Murray?
I'm going to say 2.5. I'm like halfway.
Okay. All right. I'm calling an audible here. I'm crossing out the game I had because I want to make sure you get this one right. The Dallas Cowboys are traveling to the New England Patriots, and the Cowboys are favored by 3.
Yeah, we're definitely taking the Cowboys. We're smashing the Cowboys. We're taking them money line, the points. We're taking everything. Every bet possible when Cowboys win, we are taking that. That defense is fucking stout. I mean, that defense is stout, and it's only going to get better as players come back from injury. Obviously, the offense speaks for itself. You got CeeDee Lamb, you got Amari Cooper, you got Ezekiel Elliott, you got Tony Pollard, and you have this year's MVP, Dak Prescott, on the team.
Wow,
I mean,
you're jumping ahead, but I know what the answer is. All right, how many stars are we going with Dallas? Can you go more than 11?
I mean, we can go like 13.
Wow.
Lucky 13.
Please, I need you to temper your expectations. I am a lifelong Packer fan. I've watched every game they've played for the last however many years. You are saddled with one of the worst in-game head coaches that has ever been in the NFL.
I couldn't agree more. His timeout choice selection is laughable. His clock management is laughable. But I think in spite of all that, just like Aaron Rodgers won a couple of Super Bowls in well, yeah,
One.
two, right?
Just
One?
one.
Okay. Yeah,
Just
and not together. In spite of Mike McCarthy,
In
Aaron
spite of-
Rodgers still has a ring. I think that this team has a chance to do something similar. It's just obviously I am a fan, and I will cop to my inobjective feelings. But having said all that, this team is truly something special. There's not that many teams I can recall in my young life that have been this stacked. And it seems like the locker room might finally be in order. The house might finally be well kept. Nobody is bitching and moaning. Obviously, winning helps with all those things. But I think you're the leader in Dak Prescott, who, if we do lose a few games, he's not going to let anybody start pointing fingers. He's going to say, shut the fuck up, do your job, and we'll get back to winning.
All right. All right. So we got 13 stars on Dallas. Okay. This is the last pick. I'm going to ask it to you and I'm going to disappear because I got to grab my charger because I don't want us to die. So the last big game tonight, baseball game, winner go home between the Dodgers and the Giants. I got to get you the updated odds because I know they changed starting pitchers. So I know that's going to matter to you. Sharps like you, we got to make sure you get the best number.
Yes, definitely.
The Giants have Logan Webb starting. They are slight favorites at -115, and Corey Knebel, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, is going for the Dodgers. That game starts in a little over 3 hours. Break it down. Tell me who you like, and I'll be right back. Filibuster.
Yeah, so I'll be honest, baseball not my strongest pitching, but I do have some great inside knowledge from some friends of mine who are very big into baseball. They love the Dodgers. They are smashing the Dodgers, regardless of pitching, regardless of weather, regardless of anything. They are just piling all the money onto the Big Blue. And yeah, I think they're gonna come away with the W. It'll be close. It'll be a fun game. But in the end, I think the Dodgers are definitely moving on 100%.
Okay, so we got the Dodgers. I'm going to pretend like I heard all of the analysis. I just know that you like the Dodgers. How confident?
Let's go with 3.5.
3.5. All right.
Yep.
So we've got Tampa Bay, Green Bay, the Chargers, the Cardinals, the Cowboys, and the Dodgers tonight. A lot of stars. So a couple interesting things. Well, one interesting thing. You have all road teams. It's tough to do.
Road is where it's at, though, man.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Are we doing all $10 on the teams you picked? Or are we splitting it up half and half?
Dude, no gamble, no future.
Okay.
This is all in.
No gamble, no future. That is some that's a shirt at pokerrags.us. Pokerrags.
Hey, yo,
No,
I like it.
No.
I'm gonna have to get me one of them.
All right. Stay on the line after we stop recording.
Definitely.
Deal? Okay.
Definitely.
I'm gonna go. I ask everybody who they think is going to win the NFL MVP, and I think I know what your answer is. Let me see if I can find what the odds are. Awards. Dak Prescott. Oh man, he's down to 7-1. So that's who you're going with, right?
And
Okay, got you down for
I mean, the turnaround in this team with him and without him has been night and day. Obviously, a lot changed on the defensive side of the ball, but that offensive side is basically the same, except one main difference. and that's Dak Prescott. And we are putting up points. We are running the ball exceptionally well. And the reason we're running the ball so well is because every time they or every time they stack the box, Dak just picks them up for a 40-yard touchdown because CeeDee Lamb is like a Hoover vacuum, and Amari Cooper doesn't know how to throw up a bull. Like he just doesn't know how. He was not programmed that way. And so yeah, I mean nothing has changed really offensively. It's just the defensive side of the ball, and the difference is massive. So as long as we go as deep as we're expected to, I don't think there's any way he doesn't win MVP.
Okay. Well, we have, just to catch everybody up at home, we have Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Kyler Murray, Eddie McCaffrey, Russell Wilson, Matt Stafford, Justin Herbert, and now Dak Prescott have all been claimed. Whoever gets it right is going to get some official Fade the Mahoney merchandise. We just
I can't wait.
We just have to come up with some of them.
I would say, do I need to like send you my address now so you can just send it to me ahead of time, because it's the lot of the century. I mean, as long as he didn't break his ankle again.
KL, I don't want you to get your hopes too high. You know how many Super Bowls the Packers should have gone to had we?
I'm fully aware. I am fully aware. I live in the broadcast zone where it's either Packers fans or Bears fans.
Mm-hmm.
And the local sucks. And so I mean, definitely, I've seen those games. I am fully aware of
He's so bad. He's so
how
bad.
preposterous Mike McCarthy is at managing games. I'm a true believer that in spite of a poor coaching situation, Dak Prescott is going to be my Lord and Savior and bring me to the promised land.
I would say just get up by 3 scores and you'll be fine. But in the NFC title game against the Seahawks, we did that, and by we I mean the Packers, and McCarthy still found a way to mismanage.
But in his defense, he didn't have the running game that he has now. Now you can just give the ball to Zeke and Pollard and kill the clock.
All right. I mean, we were doing okay until you tried to defend Mike McCarthy.
No, I'm not defending Mike. I'm just defending the team.
All right.
And the situation. I think that it would take an absurd amount of idiocy for even him to such a lead like that. I mean, you have Ezekiel Elliott. Just give the ball to him every down. Period.
Mike McCarthy accepts your challenge at an absurd amount of idiocy. He accepts it. All right. I've got I got everything for today on my outline here covered. We did a lot of work. We covered a lot of stuff. This was a lot of fun. I thank you very much. I'm going to be back tomorrow. KL, if you're not watching Major League Wiffle Ball on Friday afternoons on YouTube, you should start doing that. It is excellent. It's excellent content. It's a half hour. They're in the playoffs now. They post at 3 o'clock our time, so 1 o'clock out by you.
But can I bet it?
Can you bet it?
Yeah.
If you watch the show tomorrow, we figure out a way to bet it. We figure out a way. Trevor Savage, do you know who Trevor Savage is? Poker player. He knows more about Major League Wiffle Ball than probably just about anybody on the planet. He actually sets the lines and the over-unders for all the series, and we talk about it. And then a couple hours later, we watch the game. So it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. I can't wait to find some gamble in that.
Cool.
It'll be a blast.
Well, KL, thank you very much for your time. I'm really hopeful that one of either Check Raise Charles or maybe even the E-Dog runs deep in the main, and maybe some of us go out there to do some sweating down the stretch, and maybe we'll be able to run into you when we're going to have at least one person at the final table. It would be cool if you were there too.
It'll be amazing. I look forward to it. And thank you very much for having me on the show. It was a blast. You guys are very obviously amazing sports bettors.
Yeah.
You know, everybody should. You know, your picks are stone cold looks.
Mhm. They
Really, I mean, I can't believe you're giving them out for free. Honestly,
yeah.
I mean,
We like to call out the people who charge for people to get picks and then lose with them, and we just hand out the losers for free. We're very, very generous that way.
you guys are doing the Lord's work, and you know, I'm so honored to have been on the show. It was a blast. I loved it. Thank you very much.
It's really cool. Thanks a lot, KL. Hang on a second, okay?
Mhm.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.